That's frost on my truck. It was 29 degrees in Utah. I was fortunate enough to get there when the weather was actually warmer. We had highs at 49 and lows at 33, but I guess overnight the windshield factor brought the temperature down even lower. Yeah, I'm in Vegas right now. I parked at Rio Casino here, and I'm walking, and what do I see here? Let me see here. All right, so this is the stuff that I see here. A Walgreens, a Chick-fil-A, a Del Taco, Denny's, Wahoo's, and obviously surrounded by 3 different casinos: the Palms, Gold Coast, and Rio. So I couldn't find the parking for the Rio, and I basically stuff going on here. They are in a hurry. There's a lot of them. Anyway, so put in my GPS for the Rio parking lot because they said there was truck parking there. So when I went over there, they sent me to the place where normal cars park. So I was like, no, I can't park here. I have a semi-truck. Anyway, so I looked across the street, and basically there was parking at the Gold Coast. So I went in there, I parked there, but then it looked a little weird because security was giving me the eye. So I walked into the casino and I asked them, hey, what's going on? You know, do I need a permit here to park here? And they said, yeah, you need a permit. So I go in to get a permit, and they're saying, well, technically you can't really park here overnight. So you would have to park here until midnight, and then you have to get another permit. And by the way, you can't sleep in your truck. So I was like, okay, but I got the parking permit anyway. And then I walked across the street to the Rio, and the Rio basically let me park. They gave me a parking permit as well. So I told them I'm gonna eat, which I did. I ate there. So I moved my truck from Gold Coast to the Rio, and the Rio parking lot is huge. So I just wanted to let you know what is going on. Dealing with difficult people, hierarchies in life, bad attitudes, people who act like they're above the other. There's this common theme all around the world, and some people act like they're above other people. And most of us, we believe that we're all created equal. We don't believe that we're necessarily created better than somebody else. And if you do think that, you probably have some issues. But there are people out there that do believe that they're better, or they act like they're better. I'm talking about certain people that attain positions of power, authority, and elevate themselves as better than you or better than others. I'm talking about power and authority because of age, their job, class, gender, wealth, popularity, beauty, schooling or knowledge, or some kind of advantage they have over other people. The attitude they carry is, you better do what I want or else. In trucking, it could be somebody even like a security guard that determines when you're going to enter a facility or not, that determines if they're going to be helpful or not. Or it could be a warehouse worker that determines when you get loaded or unloaded, or how long you're going to sit in your truck or wait, if they're going to even give you a loading dock. Or it could be somebody in the back office, like a dispatcher or a manager, that determines what kind of loads you're going to get. And some of these people in management and whatnot can directly affect your employment, or even like permission to get vacation time or whatnot. And let's be frank, there's a level of bullying that could take place. And this isn't just in trucking. It pretty much happens all around the world and most of society. It all starts from when we were young in the playground. You know, the bullying is there. And when people are on the receiving end of this assertion of power, everybody handles it in different ways. Some fight back, some harbor ill feelings and vow to get revenge one day. Some conform, and some people even conform and bend backwards above and beyond, mostly because of fear or their desire to get what they want. And they allow themselves to be lesser than these people. You got rich people versus poor people. You got bosses, managers versus employees, bullies versus victims. I've even had a situation where a parking attendant would harass the drivers in a parking lot. Many years ago when I worked in downtown Los Angeles, we had a building with outdoor parking. This parking lot would double, triple, quadruple park the cars back to back to back to back. It's to accommodate the number of people that needed to park there that worked in the building. And if you've ever been to downtown Los Angeles, you know, parking is a big problem, right? You either park there and put up with it, or you have to park several blocks down. And if you're in and out of that building all the time, getting into your car, going to places, having meetings and whatnot, you need to park there. Now, how much favor you had with this parking attendant determined where your car would get parked. I'm talking about a difference of 1 minute to waiting 15 minutes to get your car. Now, this guy had a horrible attitude. And he could psychologically drive you crazy because he loved treating people like trash and loved it when people got desperate when they were in a hurry. Now, on the flip side, I heard about this rich guy who walked up to a full elevator that was about to close and he shouted, "Everybody get out now." This was right as the workday was starting and everybody got out of the elevator, let him in, and he went up by himself. I was told that he owned the building and he was the boss of that company. So I don't think being rich or poor determines what kind of a person you are when it comes to abusing power and when it comes to determining somebody's character. And that's that question. What happens to people when they have power or when they're in a position of authority? And for the most part, especially in America, most people are decent. But every once in a while, you come across this jerk of a person, right? This crazy, you better do what I say or else. You better or your life is going to be miserable. Or you're going to lose your job. Or I won't work with you. Or we won't deal with you. I'm not going to give you the time of day unless you kiss my boots. Or insert whatever punishment. I'm not gonna, right? Or I'm gonna, this threat, this level of threat. So in life, we have these roles that we fill. Sometimes we're the boss, sometimes we're the manager, sometimes we're the employee. And usually workers, we should willingly submit to our bosses, not because we're lesser than, but because we're fulfilling that role. And we chose to work in that organization. Most likely you had a choice, right? But the key word here is willingly work, willingly. Now the roles that we fill at work are roles, or the roles that we fill in society, in family, in organizations. Those are roles, and they do not determine whether it makes you a greater or lesser of a person. It doesn't determine whether you're better or worse. We are all created equal. And yeah, we should look to bosses for leadership, guidance, direction, but that does not mean you need to get abused while you're doing so. And you should never be a doormat. I've been in management many, many times. I've been a boss many, many times. And one thing I can say is if you're in that position of power, don't be a jerk. Treat people with common decency and don't abuse your power and don't make people feel less than human. And if you come across people that abuse their power, don't get intimidated and don't ever feel like they're greater than you. Use wisdom to maneuver and don't make hasty decisions or reactionary decisions to that kind of idiotic behavior. So now I want to talk about having that balance, the balance of attitude and substance. And sometimes it's more like an imbalance of attitude and substance. Some people have a lot of attitude, but they're lacking in substance, lacking in experience, knowledge, character. And a lot of these people end up doing dumb things because of that attitude, that strong attitude. Some even end up in jail or end up dead. You probably encountered these people. They puff themselves up, talk loud, act dangerous or crazy. Now on the flip side, you have people that have a lot of substance or even a wealth of substance, knowledge and experience, but they don't or won't assert themselves. People who can make a difference, but they bury their talents and are afraid to just try or do, or they don't try or do. These people usually end up frustrated and a lot of times end up frustrating others. Now most people fall somewhere in between these two categories, these extreme categories. And individually, I think it's smart, it's prudent to keep working on ourselves to get this balance right. Nobody's perfect and we're all a work in process. On one hand, we need to keep investing in ourselves, keep learning, keep growing, building our character, constantly striving to become better versions of ourselves. And on the other hand, we need to do the right thing or don't do the wrong thing or speak up or be quiet, be silent. When the light is green, go. When the light is red, stop. And most times in life, we need to proceed with caution. We need to be careful and we have to constantly strive for wisdom in our speech and our actions. I believe nobody's a finished article. A lot of times people, sometimes at the age of 20, they kind of shut down like they're the finished article. I think we need to keep working on ourselves until we die. So knowing this, those people who have these horrible attitudes and they're in positions of authority or power in a small scale or in a big scale, these people should not intimidate you. And in life, hierarchies will always exist, but they don't have to be toxic. Don't buy into this toxic abuse of power. Remember, these people that act this way, they're like pouting children. Don't ever let them make you feel inferior. But also, because they have this power, remember, be cautious. They're like porcupines, handle with care. So I want to encourage all of you, keep growing. And even if you're old, keep improving, keep a clear head, and tackle each moment with wisdom. What's going on, my people? So it is a few days before Christmas and we've got a few days off. So they told us to take Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off of this week so we could celebrate Christmas with our families. So that was kind of cool. We start up again on the 26th in the morning, which is a Thursday. This past week wasn't too bad. I got a chance to go to Phoenix and back, and then they gave me a long trip to Salt Lake City and back. Thank God it was warm weather. I mean, warm for Utah. I think the highs were like in 49 and the lows were like 33. But when I woke up in the morning, with the windshield, I guess it dipped down to like 29. I had frost on my truck. It didn't snow at all, but there was still some frost from the overnight, moisture. The weird thing about that frost is once that frost melts away, it leaves like a bunch of dust on the truck. So it's kind of annoying and it gets caked on. It's weird. It's like thick and it's like dirty. So now I have this like gray layer over my truck, which is really annoying. So, and then that stuff isn't like you just hose it off and it comes off. You actually have to like soap it down, like you have to wash it. So yeah, anyway, but overall, I got about a little over 2,000 miles for the week. It was a decent week. It wasn't great, but then I did get to go home midday on Saturday, which is always great, right? Basically working 4.5 days. Can't complain about that. And so I had a head start to the week off, and not really a week, about 5 days off. So, it was good. Anyway, yeah, that's about it for me. It's a quick recap on my drives this week. All of you out there, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I'll probably do another video right before the New Year. So, but Happy New Year if you don't see me until after then. Thank you so much for the support you've been giving me. This year has flown by. Yeah, a whole year of truck driving gone already. So it went quick, and I can't believe I made this many videos. And the crazy thing is at this point I have yet to monetize anything. So I'm doing all of this just for me and for you guys. Not really technically profiting from these videos. I didn't get enough view time, I guess. So, hopefully that changes soon. Every little bit could help, but if it doesn't, it's okay. I think more than wanting to make a lot of money on YouTube, it's more of a flow, a journey, and keeping a log of what's going on, keeping me disciplined and kind of accountable in a way. When I talk to all of you guys on YouTube like this, yeah, I have to be on the up and up, right? At least appear to be, right? Anyway, God bless all of you. Once again, thank you for following me on this journey, and be safe out there during this holiday season. There's a lot of crazies out there. I've seen a lot of cuckoo drivers all throughout the year. I've seen them. So be careful. Peace to you and your families. And yeah, take care. Until next time. Cheers.